I'm Hank Stoltz, and sitting down at the Brew on the Grid, a place that really brings downtown together, and one of the newest spots in downtown as well. Joined by the president and CEO of the Worcester Regional Chamber of Commerce, Tim Murray, and also Josh Croke is here with us. And Josh, we're going to be talking about everything, because you are literally, it seems, involved in everything and really have your fingers on the pulse of what's happening here in Worcester. First, though, Tim, I just wanted to ask you the significance of us really having a sit-down and a place to be able to sit down like the Brew on the Grid. What a great addition to downtown.
Yeah, without a doubt, Hank. I mean, you know, in our various roles over the years, how many times, when are we going to have retail downtown? When are we going to have a coffee shop? When are we going to have, you know, and it's kind of this chicken and egg conversation, but when you bring density, then you create enough people and discretionary income that can support a business like this. And to have a place like the Brew open up, and then to see on a regular basis, you know, how crowded it is, and then having it open up until 10, 11 o'clock at night. You know, you drive by, it's lit up, there are people in here. That, to me, is as much a symbol of the momentum happening in our downtown as the cranes and the changing skyline. And, you know, what drives a lot of that density in terms of people, it's people living, working, and playing downtown. And Josh has been in the middle of all of those things as a local college graduate who stayed involved, recently honored by WPI, or, you know, I think it was, and you know, somebody who is trying to bring businesses, incubate businesses, young people, millennials, and that to me is all part of the mix. And just excited he's here with us.
Josh, what a great introduction, and I love the part about what Tim said about you have stayed here in Worcester and incubating, part of what the Chamber is so involved in as well. Tell us about your organization, co-founder. Why did you decide to do it here in Worcester?
Definitely. So myself and Kyla Pacheco, my co-founder for Action Worcester, started Action Worcester about 2 years ago. I'm a WPI grad. I actually started my for-profit consulting company right out of school. We're a design and innovation consultancy here in the city. We work with clients nationally, but really looked at positioning ourselves in Worcester because of the growth and all the activity that's happening here. And as an extension of that involvement, starting Action Worcester was really important to us, to be able to say, let's tap into the students and the young professionals and really look at how to build engagement and build kind of some civic responsibility in those people to get excited about the growth and things that are happening here. We kind of expanded outside of the student and young professional engagement with some other events and initiatives focused around urban development and really looking at the landscape of the city and how to address certain challenges or perceptions that students or young professionals or people looking to move into the city have in relation to the city, and develop our initiatives based around kind of those perceptions.
Well, I have to tell you, it's one of the reasons why it's so fitting that we're having this conversation at Brew on the Grid, because, I mean, I think that what this represents is a new Worcester, a kind of place where you can sit and have the kind of conversations that you're talking about. Tim, I also think that it goes along with what you were just saying. It's not just the cranes. The city is a lot more than its buildings. That can show some progress, but it's people like Josh and what he is working on, and the fact that he has this civic responsibility, and bringing that to Worcester and moving it forward is what really is going to move the city in a forward direction.
Without a doubt. I mean, to have, you know, WPI, which is a nationally recognized school, competitive in so many levels, an increasing number of grads are saying, you know, Worcester's a place where I want to stay and I want to start a business and career and work and family. That, again, is a sea change in terms of what was happening perhaps in the past. You know, we hosted an event with the Worcester Business Journal we do every year called the Economic Forecast. And one of the moderators for the panel discussion was a dean at Clark University. And he said it's been, you know, the first time in his career over the last several years, increasing number of Clark students actively talking about, you know, Worcester's a place I want to stay. It's affordable, increase, you know, the restaurant, the arts and cultural scene, the collaboration. Millennials, young people want to have impact. Worcester's a place you can have impact right away. Like Josh is a great example with Kyla, getting involved, partnering with groups. And, you know, as Worcester kind of changes, exposing people to what's happening. And once they see it, people say, you know, this is something, you know, I want to consider as an option.
Listen, I crashed this meeting, so I'm going to get out of the way so that you guys can get talking. Before I do that, though, one thing, and this is actually, I know, a hard question for you. One thing that you're working on right now that you are very excited about for the city.
Definitely. So I would say one of the things that we're most excited about right now is our collaborative workspace model that we launched at the Worcester Idea Lab downtown. We're really working at unifying and collaborating with the colleges to provide a space where the students can work intercollegiately on different projects alongside of community startups in partnership with organizations like the Chamber and some of the other organizations in the city to really build density into what we're calling kind of this innovation district right now, really driving a lot of innovation activity here as well as the theater district activity, increasing that 18-hour foot traffic on the streets. Places like Brew and the emerging scene down here is really stirring and exciting that pot, so we're really excited for that. So people can find the Worcester Idea Lab at worcesteridealab.com.
Wonderful. For Josh Croke, Tim Murray, I'm Hank Stoltz. Lights, camera, chamber.